Assalamu alaikum students. I hope that you are all fine at home and enjoying your break. I'm your teacher Iftikhar. I'm teaching you English today and I have selected a topic that is active and passive voice because this is as per your syllabus. So this was left over. So I just want to teach you today active voice and passive voice. Alright, so today is 16 and the day is Tuesday. So just make a note that this is today's lecture. And the topic is active voice and passive voice. Okay, first of all, I just want to explain you what is active and what is passive. Why do we learn active and passive voice? This is really very important. If you look at the grammar, everywhere there is active and passive voice. So I'm teaching you the active and passive. What is active and passive voice? So first of all, I'll start with active. The definition of active voice is when subject does an action. Subject would be he, she, it, would, any name and any noun. You might have read about the noun and pronoun. So whatever, if it is noun or a pronoun, whatever, it is called subject. For example, he, she, it, Ali, Usman, they are all subject. So the definition is when the subject does an action, that is active voice. But the passive voice is, active voice, I will just give you example of the active voice. E.g., that's the example. Usman has drunk water. Now, Usman is a subject here. Okay? Has drunk, third form of the verb, and water is the object. So if you see at the top, when subject does an action. So in this sentence, Usman is doing an action. What action he is doing? He is drinking water. The water is the object. So Usman has drunk water. That means the subject does any action. Now, if we come to the passive voice, we can say when subject receives an action. So what is the difference here? Subject does an action. In passive voice, when subject receives an action. For example, water has been drunk by Usman. So this is a passive voice. Now if you look over here, Usman, which was the subject, has gone to the object's place and object has come over here, water, right? Okay. Now there are certain rules. कुछ रूल्स हैं जो आपको मैं समझाना चाहता हूँ कि हम एक्टिव वॉइस को पैसिव वॉइस कैसे बनाते हैं, क्योंकि ये हर चीज़ का फार्मूलेज होते हैं, रूल्स होते हैं, जैसे डायरेक्ट इनडायरेक्ट है और भी वो पैसिव वॉइस है, एक्टिव वॉइस, पैसिव वॉइस के अलावा बेशुमार ऐसी चीज़ें हैं जिसमें इंग्लिश में जो है ना ग्रामर में उसके रूल्स हैं. बगैर रूल्स के तो कुछ नहीं होता. दुनिया में हर चीज़ जो है रूल से चल रही है. तो इसी तरह एक्टिव को पैसिव वॉइस बनाने के लिए सर्टेन रूल्स हैं, वो मैंने यहाँ पे लिस्ट डाउन किए हुए हैं. हमारा रूल नंबर 1 है, जस्ट बी अटेंटिव. रूल नंबर 1 जो है वो ये है, सब्जेक्ट takes place of an object. Subject takes place of an object and object takes place of subject. If you go back to the example, look over here. Subject, Usman is the subject, has drunk water, and when we change it into passive voice, we will read it as water has been drunk by Usman. So first rule, subject will take change of the object and object will change the place of the subject. You might have noticed over here, Usman, where is Usman? Usman has gone to object place and subject has come, object has come to the subject. So that is it's replacing the subject and object. Okay. So rule number 2, we use third form plus has been or have been. Now the question is where we use has and have. Has we can use with he, she and it, and have we use like with I, we, they and plural. So when he, she, it used, we have to use the has, and when there is I, we, they, we have to use have. So the second rule is we use third form plus has been and have been. Now go back to the example. For example, look, the sentence active voice is Usman has drunk. Now the formula number 2 we are using over here in this example. water has been drunk. Look, has been. Why has been? Because it is a he. Who is he? Usman is he. So instead of Usman, we will use he because this is the pronoun. Okay. So we use third form. So this is the third form. Drunk is third form. And as per the rule, has been, we have used has been. So water has been drunk by Usman. Okay. Rule number 3. We use by before the subject. This is the rule number 3. And if you look over here, as an example, water has been drunk by Usman. See, by, and by is here. Usman is subject. So before the subject. So or Usman is the subject, and by we have used before the subject. So look over here. Okay. So rule number 4. This is the last rule. Change of pronoun. It's very, very important to understand the pronoun. You know the noun and pronoun. Noun is the name of person, place, and thing. And when we use, instead of noun, like Usman, we have used he. So that is pronoun. So change of pronoun is, for example, here, if you look at this display, he is changed into him. She will change into her. You will remain as you. They will change into them. We will change into us, and it will not change. It will change into only it. Right? So these are the pronouns. Whenever you get any sentence with these pronouns, you can change it while making the voice passive voice. You can change it into these. Follow this formula. Okay. Now this is, I have explained you the definition of active voice and passive voice. Then I have explained you the rules. And now, as a practice, I will give you some sentences. On the board, I have written some sentences on the board. So we'll practice on that so that you will be very much familiar and will know better that how we change the active voice into passive voice. For example, sentence number 1, Ali has written a letter. Okay. Now, when changing into passive voice, these rules we have to follow. For example, Ali has written a letter. This is active voice. Let's change it to passive voice. A letter has been written by Ali. Now, has been, we have used this rule, which is rule number 2, third form, and has been. Look, has been and third form. Then by, we have to use the by here, which is rule number 3, by before the subject. Before the subject. Look over here. This is by and this is the subject. Before the subject we have used by. So this is very important. Then next rule is next sentence. She has read a book. Don't read it. Read. It's not a read actually, because always after has and have we use third form. Though its spelling is the same, but its sound is different. Read. She has read a book. Now change into passive voice. A book has been read by her. Why her? Look, she. If you come back to the pronoun, you will find she here, and she is changed into her. So the same applies over here. She has that, and now she has changed into her. And before her there is a by. Okay. So the passive voice would be a book has been read by her. Okay. Number 3. He has played the cricket. He has played the cricket. So इसको passive voice में जब बनाएंगे तो we would say cricket has been played by him. Same formula, same everything. Formulas are over here, so you can pick the formula from there and apply in your passive voice. Okay? Cricket has been played by him. He will change into him because it's pronoun. Okay, sentence number 4. They have flown the kite. You know, grammatically, when we use has and have, we have to use the third form. So, fly, flew, flown. Don't confuse that flown is, what is this flown? Flown is the third form of fly. They have flown the kite. Now, change it to passive voice. The kites have been flown by them. Okay, if you look at the formula, you can see Where is them? Because we don't have them here, but they will change into them. Now, look, come back on this pronoun table. They will change into them. So, same way, they have changed into them before the by, and this is the subject. Okay? And the last sentence is Sabah has drunk water. सबा ने पानी पिया, सबा ने पानी पी लिया है. Sabah has drunk water. Okay, Sabah is subject here, water is object, drunk is third form. After has and have, we always use third form. Okay, now change into passive voice. Water has been drunk by Sabah. Now what was the change? Again I repeat you. Sabah is the subject. Subject will take place of the object. Object will take place of subject. And we use has been or have been with the third form according to these rules. According to these rules. Because look at the rule number 2. We use third form plus has been. So while making the passive voice, changing into passive voice, we have to use water has been drunk by Sabah. Okay, so Sabah will not change it to he or she because it's name. So name will never change. Only pronouns will be changed into this according to this table. Alright? Students, this is the end of my lecture. Now before I close down, if there is anything which is not clear to you, which is confused, which you don't understand, which you did not follow, you got our video here. You can repeat it and listen to it again and again to get it clear. Even then, if something is not clear, you can write down in your comments and I will respond to you. Thank you very much for listening and all the best.